You download the KBLA 1580 app and hear that richness, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. But don't take my word for it. Download the KBLA 1580 app right now. I'm Tavis Smiley, and I approve this message.
At 17 we fell in love, high school sweethearts. Love was so brand new. We took the vows of man and wife, forever, for life. I remember how we made our way, a little patience, the times we prayed. Can't imagine that this love is through. Feeling the pain, girl, when you lose. Oh, it's too hot, lady. Gotta run for shelter, gotta run for shade. It's too hot, lady. Gotta cool this anger. What a mess we made so long ago. You were my love, oh my love.
KBLA Talk 1580. Yep. Well, the song matches the conversation for sure. We're joined by one of the authors of a book called Suddenly Single, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. But she's done a lot of other things. She's a human resources professional. She is deeply involved in her community, from the Black Worker Center to the LA Board of Supervisors to the African Focus Incorporated, as a member of the organization, but also a traveler, and the founder of her own organization, Purpose Youth Foundation. This lady's got a lot going on. She's award-winning. But today she will be talking about, well, it's Black Marriage Monday, the divorce edition. Lorie James, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So when I met you, you were married.
Yes.
And you had been married for a very long time.
Yes. I was married for a total of 29 years.
Thus, at 17 we fell in love.
Yes.
You guys were actually high school sweethearts.
We were. Actually, he was in high school. I was in middle school when we met.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not touching that.
Okay.
We're going to say that it was a chaste relationship.
Okay.
So you were in middle school, he was in high school, and you guys started dating?
If you want to call it dating.
What would you call it?
I don't know, because
because you were in middle school, so what did you know?
Right. What did I know?
Yeah. So you guys were going together?
Yes.
I
would call it that.
You were
Yes.
going together.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you guys kept going together?
We kept going together.
You never stopped going together?
Well, there were times that we did stop going together, as most couples do, break up to make up, So.
But you guys...
For the most part, we were together the entire time.
So you were pretty much with one guy since middle school.
Yes.
And that's why, because, the book is called Suddenly Single, and it's a collection of recollections.
Right.
From women.
It's a collection of stories from women who became suddenly single, either due to divorce, death, or incarceration.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, in every relationship there are signs, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes as women, we hang on. We just hang on and hang on when we know it's ended and it should end, but we hang on. And a lot of Well, my particular reason, because I have learned so much since I divorced, and I have been following a lot of love coaches, if
Oh,
you
really?
will, on Instagram.
Okay.
Yes.
And that helps?
Oh, yes, it helps because they give
Wow. Okay.
such good advice. And one of
Yeah.
my favorites is Shay the Love Diva on Instagram.
Oh, I'm not familiar with Shay the Love Diva, but I'm going to have to check her out.
Yes, she gives advice. But one of the things that I have come to discover is that my father wasn't in my life. So I have daddy issues, as so many women do. And I think when you have daddy issues, you want to hang on. You want to hang on to that male figure. And you want to people please. And these are all the things that happen when you have daddy issues.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, yeah, there are signs because no matter how long it took to get a divorce,
Right.
being married 29 years and going with someone since middle school, it's going to feel sudden, right?
Oh, yes. It was sudden. It really was sudden because when it happened, it was like, this is it. This is it. I'm not going to put up with this. And, of course, it was infidelity.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided I am not going. So it was sudden, even though we weren't as happy as we should have been or could have been or as we once were. But still, it was sudden because it's the end of a marriage. It was a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and like you said, you guys had been through ups and downs before, I'm sure,
Right.
even within the marriage itself.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So how did you know this was the last time?
Well, I had always suspected infidelity, but I had no proof, no evidence. So when I got the evidence, that's when I said, this is it. We as women, we have that gut feeling. We know.
Oh, yeah. I think sometimes, we don't want to know. And sometimes we're obsessing, looking at phones, looking through people's stuff, trying to get evidence. But other times I think we kind of look away.
Right, right. And like I said, I wanted to make it work. I held on longer than I should have. A lot of times women think, oh, for the children, even though at the time I did divorce, my children were grown. However, they still wanted us to be together.
Really?
They did. They did. Because the very strange thing about our divorce is when we sold our home in Hawthorne, we both moved to separate homes. We both purchased separate homes in Victorville.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Now, I'm thinking you might want to get to another country, let alone the same tiny town.
Well, how that came about, I did. But how that came about, my mother had a first cousin that lived in Victorville. And we would go visit her either to or from Vegas, from our Vegas trips. So we thought, oh, this is a nice place if we were to retire. However, when we divorced, I was retired. He was not. So I purchased my home first, and a couple of months later, he purchased a home there as well. And he still has to commute. He's still not retired.
Wow.
And he's planning on retiring next year, but he's still commuting that 2-hour commute.
Well, so your kids wanted you to stay together. You say you held on longer than you should have.
Yes.
He certainly seemed like, I never spent a lot of time with him or anything, although one year he did come to Africa with us.
Yes.
He seemed like he wanted to be married to you too. But and there's so much pressure, especially those of us who are community activists and all about building up the black community. Oh, the black marriage must be strong. Black love must prevail.
Yes.
at what point did you you said it was the infidelity, but at what point did you let yourself off the hook and say, you know what, I got to let this go?
Well, it was just that. It was just that. Like I said, I'd had suspicions, but no proof. And who wants to say, well, I'm going to divorce you because I think something's going on?
Yeah.
That's just not what you do.
Yeah. But I also think that there's well, I'll speak for myself. When I split from my husband, there's this huge guilt about the kids and the family and the community and letting people down.
Okay.
Did you have that?
I didn't as much because I think in your situation, your son was still a minor.
Yeah.
My daughters were all, grown, over 21.
Right.
In their 30s,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you were like, get over it, kids.
Right. Yeah, and they really had that hope, especially because we moved to the same city.
Right. They're probably trying to parent trap you guys.
Right.
800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. 800-920-1580. The book, Suddenly Single, Volume 2. Lorie James is one of the writers of that book. She joins us in studio, and I want to find out what some of these other advice guru types that you're listening to are. But I also want to get your advice for folks who are considering getting out of their marriage or those who are suddenly single. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's.
The Parkinson's Foundation knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers.
We can help you understand the disease
and give you tips for living a better life.
Find your answers at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So, no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right, Lorie James is in the studio with us. She is an activist, and she's over before we get more into this, Black Marriage Money, the divorce edition, I want to make sure we don't forget to talk about Purpose Youth Foundation. That's your organization. You're always, talk about turning pain into purpose. You're always doing stuff for the community, but that's an organization where you help young women specifically.
Yes, young ladies, 13 to 19. For me, those were my most turbulent years. So that's why that's my passion, to try to steer them on the right track with mentoring workshops, everything from self-esteem to bullying. I've had a workshop, My First Vote, where the young ladies would be turning 18 before the election. So we went through the whole registration process, the candidates, the initiatives. I mean, everything you need to know as growing up as a young lady, hygiene, having a boyfriend, all of those things, family issues. So that's my baby, It's such a joy to give back to these young ladies the things that I never knew, that no one ever showed me. And,
It's amazing the things we kind of don't tell our kids, but we expect them to know. PurposeYouthFoundation.org if you want to volunteer or donate or anything like that. PurposeYouthFoundation.org. Is that part of your formula for navigating divorce and being suddenly single, is giving back?
Well, I love doing that because of, like I said, because of my own turbulent teen years. But once I became single, I turned to Instagram and started making reels. So that was my outlet, expressing my creativity, dancing, dressing in African attire and dancing to African songs. And one particular Christmas, my family came to Victorville to have dinner at my ex-husband, my husband's house.
Wait, what?
Yes. So
wait, you guys are already broken up?
Yes.
And your family all goes to his house?
Yes.
And where were you?
I stayed at home. And
make it make sense.
So one of my daughters said to me, she said, "Mom, aren't you gonna come?" She said, literally all of your immediate family will be there. Your 3 daughters, their children, which I have 7 grandchildren, but it was 6 at the time, and my mother, who lives with me. They all went to his house. He's such a good cook. I have to give him that. He does cook better than me. And he loved to cook, and he cooked most of the time during the marriage. So they all went over his house. He likes gumbo and, stuff like that I don't even cook. So they went over there.
So he bribed him over there.
So I stayed home.
Yeah.
And I dressed in my African attire and put on an African song and I made a reel. And when my daughter dropped my mother back off, she said, "Mom, where did you go?" I said, "I didn't go anywhere. I've just been here making a reel." That reel went viral. I couldn't understand it. I'm just dancing. And I couldn't understand it. No special dance, nothing amazing. But
it's a great outfit. Your energy is cool, and I guess there was some karma behind that.
That's what people say. They say that they felt the energy because of the song. You don't have time for the hate and the bad energy. You have your mind on your money. And the lyrics to the song, they said that I was really feeling it, and that shone through in the reel.
I just added it to my story. So y'all want to see?
Oh my goodness!
It's on. I just put it on DiPrima Radio. But she's Lorie Blue Diva, Lorie, Lorie Blue Diva on Instagram. And yeah, maybe it's the emotion of the moment that
Right.
comes through in the reel.
Exactly. So I think that's what happened.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's your advice for people when they're going through a divorce: make some reels,
No,
get
no,
on
no.
Instagram, go viral.
No, I'm saying find what brings you joy, what you enjoy doing. You know, if it's expressing your creativity, whatever way you do it. You know, if you paint, if you write, if you do poetry, you know, listening to music, if you play music, if you sing, whatever it is that expresses your creativity or gives you joy, do that. And that will help you get over it. I mean, you know, you could be an exercise buff, whatever it is, what you enjoy doing, do that. Concentrate on that.
I'm still stuck on the whole family goes over to his house, and you're invited, but you don't want to go.
Yes, I've been invited several times.
Was he trying to cook his way back into your heart?
I don't know what it was. I've been invited to 4th of July barbecues, and I have not been over there at all. No.
So the eternal question I'm sure you get from your kids, your family, and probably men you date, any chance you're going to get back together with him?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's what people think because we wound up in the same city, but absolutely not. No.
Okay, so find your joy, joyful things, but when you first break up from a long-term relationship, it's kind of, well, I don't know about for you, but for most people, it's pretty miserable.
Well, yeah, it is. However, if it ended before it ended, that's a different story. I think we both have fell out of love. Yeah, and I think we both were just hanging on, you know. Like I said, I had daddy issues. He had mommy issues. His mother had passed away when he was 12. So I think that had something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you have friends and family and even sometimes each other who are like, well, fight for the marriage, fall back into love, be intentional.
Yes, but as I say in the book, there are certain things that I believe are grounds for divorce, no matter what. If it's this particular type of infidelity occurs. And they are 4 things. And that's if, you know, you knew somebody. They were your relative or your friend, or you were close to them.
Yeah.
Or it happened in your marital home or your marital bed, you know. Or he brings you something. Or, you know, STD or something.
Right.
Or
I knew what you were talking about. I knew you didn't mean flowers.
I'm just clarifying for the audience. Anyway, or he has a child on you. So if one of these things happen, I just feel that's inexcusable, and I personally cannot move forward, you know.
Yeah.
For any of those
people
things.
do it. I mean, people make the argument, and I've heard this argument, that sex is not more important than the marriage. So meaning, in other words, if he went outside for sex or had a break baby or a not break baby or that should never rise above your union.
Well, that's not my school of thought.
Yeah.
That I personally could not get over that or accept that. So
yeah. Well, and then there's the other point, which is that it's not just the sex, it's the trust.
Exactly. Would I ever be able to trust you again if I were to stay? Yeah. I would not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you guys consider going to counseling?
He did mention that.
He mentioned it, meaning you were like, talk to the hand?
Right.
Counseling for what?
Right. Yeah, no. Because I knew that I could never get over, you know, what had happened.
So does that mean you'll be stuck in that anger or that?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have moved on. And now, and so now I'm dating, thus the book. Also in the book, I mentioned after the reels didn't start going viral, I did have a large viewership than on any other of my platforms from the reels. However, I said viewership, not followers, viewership. Because, for instance, this one reel that went viral, it had went up to like 10,000 likes, but it was 446,000 views.
Wow. So that's definitely viral.
Yeah. So after that, after I didn't get the viewership as much, I kind of turned to dating apps. So, Instagram
Reels or dating apps. Instagram Reels or dating apps.
Crazy.
Oh, what a choice.
I know it sounds crazy.
It does.
But
not bad crazy.
But maybe not that I turned to dating app. Maybe I felt I'm ready, I'm healed. I can move on with a new relationship.
And what did that healing entail?
That's just like getting over it. Like, I'm over it. I'm done.
I mean, did you go to counseling? Did you do journaling? Did you go
I did do journaling.
Church?
I did do journaling. And the funny thing about journaling is when you look at it a year later, you think, I can't believe this was my state of mind at that time. I'm so beyond that way of thinking now a year later, Yeah, so.
Talking with Lorie James, a.k.a. Lorie Blue Diva on Instagram. Continuing the conversation after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump says he doesn't think he would run for office again if he loses in November. Trump made the comment during an interview Sunday on the weekly news show Full Measure. He added, I think hopefully we're going to be successful. The Kamala Harris campaign is trolling Donald Trump for his past praise of controversial North Carolina Republican Mark Robinson. A CNN report recently revealed disturbing comments the African-American North Carolina Lieutenant Governor had left on a porn website message board over 10 years ago. Authorities in Birmingham, Alabama, believe Saturday night's mass shooting was a paid targeted hit. Police Chief Scott Thurman said he believes the targeted individual was among the 4 who were killed. He added that investigators are still trying to determine how many shooters were involved. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Staples prints anything you need for your business like banners, flyers, and signs. And Staples will beat any price quote. Plus, now print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Offer ends 11/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details or staples.com/price match for price match guarantee.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
One of the heroes in the Rams' 27-24 win over the 49ers Sunday was an unknown and undrafted rookie named Xavier Smith, a graduate from HBCU Florida A&M. Playing in his first NFL regular season game, Smith returned a punt 37 yards to put the Rams at the 50-yard line with 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 3 plays later, Joshua Carter kicked a 37-yard field goal with 2 seconds left to give the Rams a comeback win. Rams coach Sean McVay gave Smith a game ball inside a jubilant Rams locker room. Things were not so festive inside the Chargers locker room. They lost at Pittsburgh 20-10 and may have lost quarterback Justin Herbert for a while. Herbert re-injured his left ankle in the third quarter and left the stadium in a boot cast. Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts hit back-to-back homers in the bottom of the ninth to give the Dodgers a walk-off win over Colorado. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So, how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company. October 2nd is California Clean Air Day. Go Metro for free and help cut down on pollution and traffic. It's our way of thanking you because every ride makes a difference. Let's clear the air together. Ready to go right now? Head to metro.net.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth.
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
We do not, and I'm here with Lorie James. She's an author now, and she's also an activist, board member, many other things. Lorie, I want to share with you some of these things in the chat. Morris Phillips says, wait a minute, a lot of men hang on too. In my opinion, women are more mature than men. And he says, I agree with you, sister. You've learned to be happy with yourself. Courtney Edwards says, carry on, my beautiful queen. Absolutely, the Lord will see you through. Molly Bell says, morning guest Lorie Diva. I'm listening to you with an open mind. It seems that many of your choices with reasons just for her, your family chose his family over their own. It happens. Any responses to any of those comments?
Okay, well, I do agree with the gentleman that said women are more mature. Absolutely.
I think science agrees with that too, by the way.
Yes. And I realize that men hang on too as well. As I stated, he had mommy issues. And Molly Bell, I think that just with the holidays and his excellent cooking, they wanted to go there.
They chose gumbo over you.
Yeah, they chose gumbo over me, not him. Exactly.
That's very mature of you to say.
And a lot of times their goal is to go over both of our homes. So they did bring one of our family traditions, which is enchilada casserole. They brought that to me. And then they took some over there where they were going over his home. So they do, make an effort to, see both of us, spend the night over his house, spend the night over my house, So that is the good thing about us living in the same city.
B. Bell of Bad Dog Bully says, you cheat, you hit the street.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
There's no going back.
No going back.
Would you marry again?
I would.
Really?
I enjoyed being married. I did.
Hope springs eternal.
Yes, okay. Yes. And so a lot of these dating apps, well, one in particular, you put your status if you want marriage, if you want a long-term relationship, if you want something casual or open to anything. Now, when I see somebody's open to anything, I'm like, run for the hills.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag for me.
It says it's a group of red flags.
Yeah, and then something casual, the same. But if they want a long-term relationship or if they want marriage, then there's a possibility that we can date.
You want to share what apps you like?
Well, you know what? After going through all of these apps and paying a monthly fee, I found out the Facebook app is free.
That is so funny. I have a friend who says the same thing.
And I found out after I had went on all these other apps.
He gets more dates from Facebook
And the thing I love about Facebook is, first of all, I used to be an administrative investigator for LA County.
Oh,
so
don't mess with Lorie.
The first thing I want to see is your profile. You can find so much, especially if someone posts a lot. You can find so many things about them.
Right, so it's not just whatever they're curating for the dating app. It's all the things they've been posting, unless they pull an usher and just delete all their posts.
Yes. So I have, and dating is, to me, an interview process. It
You have a questionnaire we have to fill out?
No, but and I also used to be a HR manager, so I'm pretty good at interviewing. So the first 2 weeks, you will know. That's your probationary period.
The first 2 weeks, how many dates occur during those 2 weeks?
It doesn't matter. You will know from, I have 3 C's that I like, and that is consistency, communication, and compatibility.
Consistency, communication, and compatibility. So I guess attractiveness goes under compatibility?
Yes. Well, you know what? I have tried to say, well, he checks off all the other boxes, but I'm not that physically attracted to him. I don't really think that works.
Doesn't work for you.
Doesn't
works
work
for some people.
I don't think that. I have to be physically attracted.
B. Bell says, I met mine on Facebook dating and been together 1 year today.
And I have met many people that have met on dating apps, not specifically Facebook, but dating apps, and marriages have come out of them.
One of my closest girlfriends met her man on Match.com, and they've been married, I think, 8 or 9 years now.
Yes, absolutely.
Very happy. I think that's a life match. Morris from Inglewood, you're on with Lorie and me on KBLA. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I love you, Dominique, and this conversation is relevant even to my own life. My high school sweetheart, she fired me after 25 years, but I was happy that it happens now. I was just telling him out it's in his future too. He said, "Don't put that on me," but you got to look at the numbers, y'all. Look at the numbers. but anyway, what I wanted to say was, when she found someone else, I was happy that she found someone else. And a friend of mine said to me, he said, "Oh, so she don't bother you no more." The question I have for you, sister, the question I have for you, were you happy that he found someone else and that he let you go, or has he not letting you go? And I'll take your comments off here. And have a good morning, Dominique.
All right, Morris, we love you more.
Okay, so this is going to be very flabbergasting, what I'm going to say. But the lady that he was involved with passed away. So I don't know the circumstances. I don't know. So I just feel that he has been trying to, get back together with me.
Wow. So he's trying to make you his rebound, even though you were the wife.
Oh my goodness! I never thought about it like that.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So is there any dating app that is an absolutely no, don't do that one?
Well, how I started with the dating apps is one of my hairdressers suggested it. And for some reason, I thought she said plenty of fish. So that was one of the first ones I went on. And so when I went back to get my hair done, she said, "So how's it going? Did you get on the dating app?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm on Plenty of Fish." She said, "No, I didn't say that one. That one is just for booty calls. I told you to go on Black People Meet." I said, "I don't know where." So anyway,
oh my goodness.
Black People Meet. I did meet someone. We were in a relationship for like 15 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it is.
So that works, but you like Facebook better.
I like Facebook because, like I said, I can go through their profile and certain things about it may just say no, absolutely not. I mean, it could be something simple like political party you want to vote for or something no.
Interesting. Do you think that, how do you find the dating scene? Like, the reason I ask is because for me, I felt like it was really different than before I got married. You know, I felt it was really changed. For one thing, a lot of people are mostly communicating via texting. There's not as much, and DMing and stuff. There's not as much conversation.
Absolutely.
But I find it really different.
Yeah, that is true. Well, you know, I really didn't date before.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were you
so
were scooped up in junior high school, as they used to
right,
call it, middle school.
right. However, I do agree with there's a lot of texting because on the dating apps, that's how you start off. You start off communicating, you know, in a chat until you find out if you want to go further and give up your phone number. You know, so there's a lot of that going on, and then there's a lot of times when guys just want to talk every day, and I'm like, look, I don't want these people that own these dating apps to have all of my business and information. Can we sometimes I'm the first to suggest, can we take it offline?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and then I always want them to give me their number.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. Have you had any scary situations, or, you know, have you been catfished?
I have been catfished, and like I said, I always go to Facebook. Now, if, you know, I met you on another app, I find out your name, I go on Facebook, I look. If you only have 5 posts, and they're recent, they're this month, it's a catfish.
Mm.
It's a catfish.
They Love Dan says, what about for better or worse? Were your vows before God a lie? Mistakes are part of life, like tragedy and health. Isn't that the worst part that we vow about?
I think that it does talk about infidelity in the Bible. I think that is one of the excusables in the together forever.
So you're saying that that's like an out clause?
Yes, I think it is. Yes.
Okay, adultery. Well,
yes, I believe so.
He also says, would you leave or cheat during a health crisis?
Would I leave or cheat?
During a health crisis, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
But she's not the one that cheated.
I'm not the one that's cheated, and I wouldn't leave or cheat. No.
So you think this is different?
I take my vows seriously, and you know, if they were sick, I would take care of them.
And he also says, what if the new person cheats on you? Will you leave again or try to fix the behavior?
Well, it depends on what the situation is. If we're, and like I said, I believe dating is just the interview phase, and then you should go to courting if you are in a relationship that's courting, looking towards marriage, right? So it depends on what phase we're in. So if we're courting, yes. If we're married, if it wasn't one of those 4 things, and he just cheated with somebody I don't know, and you know, and she happened to call me and tell me about it or something, that may be I may feel a little different. I don't know until that situation happens.
Mm-hmm. If you're of a certain age, it's different. We used to have to actually go up to meet someone face to face. LOL, that's true. And I think he says God hates divorce. And I think you're assuming that everybody has your same spiritual orientation, Dan. I mean, even within the Christian faith, there's different thoughts about divorce. There's variation from different denominations. Catholics are much more rigid about that. And then, everyone has their religion, and then everyone has their actual way they live their lives. And folks have different philosophies even within religion. So I don't know. Well, I'll let you respond when we come forward. We're talking with Lorie Blue Diva. That's her name on Instagram. And while you're following her, you might as well follow me too. I'm at DiPrima Radio. The book is Suddenly Single, Volume 2. And this is KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency, multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
All right, we may have to do a part 2 of this show, part 2 of part 2, Suddenly Single, part 2. You know what I'm saying, after the election. And Urban Birds and Bees says the Bible also says, though God hates divorce, he also permitted the decree of divorce because men were being abusive and trifling. I don't know if you want to respond to that. There's a whole thread going on here.
Right. Well, I believe that infidelity is abuse. How about that?
Infidelity is abuse. Wow.
Yes.
So this is why I say we might have to have a part 2, which is that you agreed to share some of your dating adventures with us. post-divorce dating, especially after 29 years and being basically with one man since middle school,
Yes.
has got to be wild.
Yes, it's got to be. It's wild and it's a crazy. And not only that, being on the 6th floor, the 6th level, 6th decade, it's really hard dating. I get so many on this one particular app. I get so many men in their 30s and 40s trying to step to me, and I'm like, what are you thinking? What do you want? Do you think I'm gonna be your sugar mama? I'm a cougar. What is it? You know, and that's just not my.
You know what? I think it's a trendy thing right now.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Maybe we should do a show on that.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how it's more of them than the ones that are my age or, you know.
So you wouldn't date a younger man?
I really have a thing against that, and it's so.
What's the lowest you'd go?
I would say 2 years.
What?
2 years.
2 years? So you won't even date a guy in his 50s?
You know what? He has to really have it going on. He has to be wise beyond his years, advanced, and
2 years.
Really have it going on.
And what about on the older side? Same thing, 2 years?
Maybe 4.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got a little narrow window there.
I have a narrow window.
And what about other ethnicities?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Open
I would
to everybody.
I would consider it.
As long as you're not more than 2 years younger than you.
Right.
I'm gonna advocate for giving yourself a little bit more latitude here.
Like I said, if they are wise beyond their years and advanced, if they can keep up with me, you know, then yes. But and then I don't want them to look younger. So then I would, you know, I have a thing about that. So
you don't want them to look younger than you or younger than they are?
Younger than me.
Really?
I don't. No, I don't. I just have a thing about younger. I just have a thing about younger. Yeah.
Okay, you don't want to be somebody's mama.
Yeah, and then it's the, I don't know if it's the, I think about, they think of me as a cougar, or, you know, if they're established and everything, then maybe it's a little different, but.
Don't sorry, if y'all under 58.
Exactly.
Don't even try it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've never heard a woman say that they don't want a man to look younger, but I have heard a lot of women saying they don't want to date younger. And I've heard a lot of men, younger men, right now in this moment stepping to women in their 50s and 60s. It's a thing. I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram.
Well, I haven't really seen it on Instagram, but I see it on the dating app. Like I said, they way outnumber the ones that are my age. The ones that
the ones that are your age are probably married, still married or in a relationship, are more likely to have something already going on.
Well, here's the thing. I have, a lot of men, try to talk to me and everything, but since I've moved to the boondocks, I've had men tell me, well, you're a lovely lady, but you just live so far.
Geographically undesirable.
I'm 2 hours away from Los Angeles now. So I've had men tell me, well, when are you coming to L.A.? We can meet when you come to L.A., right?
Molly Bell says you look so young, men may not think you are older. Maybe. And Kwamel says those labelable situations can feel quite embarrassing. And B. Bell makes a good point. You might be missing out. Age is not always a sign of maturity, LOL.
You know what? I was having a conversation with this guy, and we actually went on a date to church. Our first date. We met at
first date to church.
Yes.
Boy, you're a trip, Lorie.
And so he is also an author. So we exchanged books, right? And then after we exchanged books, he ghosted me. So
wow.
I thought to myself, dang it, in the book I say that a younger man is not my preference. I say a couple of things that I probably should have held back on. Another thing I say is I would prefer a man that is a homeowner, as I am, you know, but if circumstances caused him not to be, that would be okay. He saw that too. He probably said, dang it. And I'm sure it was something else, you know, that.
Well, I think we have to do a part 2 because I want to hear about these dates.
Yes, yes.
And time flies when you're on the radio. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us and setting off a great conversation.
Thank you.
Now I got to think, 2 years? Maybe I'm being too generous. Lorie James, thank you. We can find the book. Suddenly Single, Volume 2 is on Amazon.
It is on Amazon. It is on Amazon, yes. So, yeah, just make sure you look at the, you know, when you go buy a book on Amazon, you can see the front and the back cover.
Yeah.
You just go to the back cover to make sure that this is the right one. Yeah, because there is a Volume 1 and there may be a 3. And, you know, a lot of the women in Volume 1 went on to write an entire book.
Great.
Instead of just their story in the anthology. And I may do so, too. That's why I don't divulge which of the 4 was the reason that we actually divorced.
Well, we got to go. Tavis Smiley is up next. Thank you again for coming in. Tavis has got a great lineup for you. He's back. Talk to him nicely. He's still celebrating his birthday. We've got a Talking Point Tuesday. Tomorrow, Lorie Jenkins from LEAP joins me, and we'll get caught up on our reparations calls to action. I'm Dominique DiPrima. History's now, and we are making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump says he doesn't think he would run for office again if Donald Trump for his past praise of controversial North Carolina Republican Mark Robinson. A CNN report recently